Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
This is So I'm Watching the Show, your new favorite pop culture YouTube channel where we talk about movies, TV, music, and more. I wanted to record an intro because we're going to release some very old test footage of ours that was Riverdale. We covered season 1 and 2 of Riverdale, and because we have had so much fun with that show, for better and worse, and because it's been one of some of our most popular content, I was like, we've got this footage. It's not great. Like, our audio's bad. Yeah. We look different. There is no set. Yeah. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, I think the conversation is good. Mm-hmm. And I think it's worth releasing.
It's in my old dining room.
So yeah, we're definitely going to release season 2. And that's what this is. This is just a little intro for our Riverdale season 2 content. So you got to have options.
I see.
So please do enjoy.
What?
I'm just trying. Okay, episode 4, The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
It's a real dumb name.
Yeah, it is a dumb episode.
It's not
It's a real
great.
dumb episode.
It's really not
There's
great.
not much to talk about. I mean, things happen, but
Archie is such a dum-dum.
Veronica says it with her full chest in the beginning.
She
She's like, listen, Hiram.
You know, one of the things I love about Archie is how earnest he is. Not in a bad way, more in an innocent sort of way.
Yeah.
She was like, here's the thing about Archie.
Of course, that simplicity also makes him impressionable, vulnerable to certain forms of attack.
He's susceptible to manipulation.
Yeah, she literally is like, his brain doesn't work like normal people's. Don't spread poison to him.
She was like, he's sweet and he believes people, and that's why I like him. And it's just... So they're the Red Circle. It's so stupid. And why is Dilton Doily a part of it? Because there keeps being like Archie and the Bulldogs and Dilton Doily.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Well, I would suspect that Dilton is
he got the gun.
Supplying them with arms.
I know why. Dilton's the survivalist, but the doomsday prepper, but still, it's odd seeing him.
I want to, apropos of nothing that actually happens in this episode, but I would like to pour one out for Dilton because he is...
Spoiler?
I wasn't... Oh, you said spoiler. I just think that poor Dilton gets the shit end of every stick, and it does not stop from here on out. Poor Dilton. All he's doing is trying to be a survivalist.
I mean, he is indoctrinating, like, Cub Scouts.
Dragged into... I mean, the Cub Scouts, they need
That's already indoctrination.
They need to know what's going on.
So, I'm trying to think of what happens. The Tony-Betty... rivalry.
This is when it reaches its zenith.
It's percolating. I think there's another episode or two, but it's definitely percolating. And we do get, because she calls out, okay, so if you've been with us thus far, you know that we are Lily Reinhardt stans, and we think that Lily's portrayal of Betty is excellent. And
it is, one would say, iconic and beyond reproach.
And there are plenty of glimpses into it, starting even with episode 1. But I think the look she gives Tony when Tony criticizes the...
Well, it's like
I remember screenshotting it.
And it's like I said, too.
Maybe if you loosened your ponytail.
Everybody in that scene, even Jughead, who is usually unflappable.
He pulls a SpongeBob like
I beg your pardon.
And Kevin comes with the...
Betty's ponytail is iconic and beyond reproach.
What's people's beef with Kevin? Because Jughead,
what?
As a teenage gay best friend to several Bettys, their boyfriends never liked me. So that checks.
Interesting.
Not never, but
Jughead doesn't not like Kevin.
Yeah, Jughead doesn't like Kevin.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know that he actively dislikes Kevin.
He doesn't have it.
But he was like, Archie and Betty are my friends. Or Archie and he was like, kind of Veronica.
Okay.
And he was like, not Jughead and Fangs. And then again when...
Kevin and Fangs.
Whatever. I'm tired. And so again, when Betty's like, we can have a study group and I'll bring Kevin. And he was like, oh.
Okay. Yeah,
He does
I
not.
kind of glossed
He
that
does not
over.
even try.
Aren't you glad you were friends with my husband before I met him?
That is true. That wasn't. That
He
was
likes
not.
you a lot.
Yeah, that was not a huge hurdle.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and I mean, I guess on one hand I kind of get it, but I just sort of feel like Kevin and Jughead would have common ground.
I agree.
Like, of all the people
Yeah.
Betty could be dating, I mean, if Jughead can be friends with Archie, he can be friends with Kevin.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Equally twunky.
well, it's like, yeah. So, but yeah, Tony, she is a little bit pot stirry in this.
A little.
We also get my favorite character, Thanks Fogarty.
Thanks, Fogarty!
Fogarty wants to earn his serpent stripes. I say bring us the head of that Northsider, and you're in.
I'm down with that.
We get the beginning, the first appearance of Thanks
He's
Fogarty.
like barely a named character.
They say
in
his
this
name
episode,
though,
but barely.
because Fogarty was gonna knock off Archie as part of his initiation or something.
Right.
Like,
Fangs was like looking to earn his colors.
yeah, and that is a deep cut inside joke.
The Fangs Fogarty
The Fangs
thing,
Fogarty
yeah.
thing. But I mean it by
Head
now. I
over
love.
to our podcast, so I'm watching the show. Search Riverdale, and you will.
I think it's
hear what we're talking
in.
about.
No, it's in the Carrie musical
Yes.
episode.
Because he's a character all of a sudden out of nowhere.
I just noticed him
yeah.
randomly in the Carrie musical, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this kid?"
Yeah.
And
Well, he is, like I'm saying, he is a character
Yeah.
all of a sudden in the Carrie musical, to the point where you were like, who the fuck is this? And you got people.
There was actually only a
telling
couple.
you.
This is like the dirty Archie Andrews, where
Yeah.
every time you say it, it gets more and
Yeah.
more and more. It was only a couple of people who were like, that's
pardon
Thanks
you,
Fogarty. He's
that's-
been there all season. And I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't
Could have
notice.
fooled me.
I didn't. Like, but no, he is there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. The Red Circle's stupid.
Yeah.
Archie, I don't have a lot of empathy or sympathy. I understand his father being...
Of course, but this is like the dumbest way to try to like help. And he also goes to like the dingiest Army Navy surplus store to buy this gun
Well, there's a
with a fake ID.
There's a
and
lot of
cash.
like, we're not going to get into like topical things in politics here, but there's a lot of like buzzwords in this episode in particular that I was like,
Alice Cooper.
I was like, don't say that. That means stuff different in the year 2020.
It was tough.
But no, there was a couple of them, because there's the scene with Archie at like the library, and he has that thing that so many of us are so accustomed to now, where you'll meet a person in a social interaction and you'll think you're on the same page. You'll be like, it's really gotten crazy up there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And then they'll come from like way out of left field, and you're
Well,
like,
that was
whoa!
that was Jughead.
Was it Jughead?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the because he was like,
He's like,
yeah,
how about
this-
that murder?
This
And
Black Hood is crazy, and she was like, yeah, the
I'm
red
more concerned
circle.
about
Yeah.
those boys. And it's like, oh,
You were
we're on
looking at,
different pages.
you were looking at the boys again.
I had a couple jokes that I don't remember. It was a dumb episode. I remember thinking it
Yeah.
was dumb the first time.
Well, Archie, it's too focused on Archie and his dumb red circle stuff that it just doesn't.
Well, because he like threatens Sweet Pea and Fangs and another one that disappears with a gun, and he's too ready for it. Like he's going out looking for like the
He's-
wrong
yeah.
kind of trouble.
He's too ready to like legit kill someone.
And so then they get into this like rumble that's like juxtaposed against the most intense town hall meeting of like all time. The thunder and lightning is
Yeah.
like, it's like Night on Bald Mountain.
Yeah.
And
Alice is at peak Karen.
yeah. And it just sort of, oh, I guess we should mention that the Black Hood sent Betty a letter about how she's inspired him.
And a cipher.
Yeah, which I'm with you. He has no creativity. It's just like
No creativity at all. You're just like cribbing from every famous serial killer. Like, yeah, the Zodiac did ciphers. You're not special.
So, did anyone die? No one died. Dilton
Not in
got
this
stabbed in
episode.
the leg,
Yes.
and Veronica. Well, actually, Veronica's claimed to have thrown Archie's gun into the river, but didn't. And then
they go and do it together.
they do. She used it in the brawl, though, and she also apparently did not get the memo that what goes up must come down, because she was just like, and then like there was no like.
no seeking shelter. But yeah, it was dumb.
Not our fave episode.
Is there anything else? Who's in it? Look at the cast list, I guess. There's a lot of North Side, South Side stuff.
Yeah, that's where that stuff really starts coming in, because that's another Alice thing where she just is like, you got to get rid of the South Side, that bad element from the South Side, to which we both are like,
I'm surprised she didn't want to build a wall. Like,
Yeah.
that's where we were going with her, but...
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
We'll check in next episode.